Hello and welcome to Learning Lightroom CC. My name is John Warren and I will be your facilitator throughout this process. This course is aimed at the novice, the newbie, whatever it is that you want to call someone who has never used a piece of software before. Although I do realize that a majority of people watching this whole course have had some experience in Lightroom. I'm assuming none. So we're going to start right at the beginning, and if you find it a little bit boring or whatever it is, please do me a favor, humor me, and just play through every module. You never know what you don't know. The interface that we end up with when we first launch Lightroom is here. And Lightroom creates a catalog for you. Catalog that keeps track of your images, also keeps track of any edits that you do to your images, also allows you to create books, slideshows, prints, a web thing. There's even a map module. All right, we'll look at that. I don't know how much time we're going to spend in it, but we'll look at that as well. Here's the first thing. The Lightroom catalog that gets generated by the software when you first launch it is located in your Pictures folder. Inside your Pictures folder, the software creates a folder called Lightroom and places your catalog inside there. If you were to have multiple catalogs, and some people do, they will all reside there. I personally don't want my catalogs living there, so what I do is I create a folder in the same directory that my documents, downloads, pictures, movies, all that kind of stuff lives. I create a folder in that at that level, and I call it Lightroom Catalogs. At that same level, I also create a folder called Images, because I need to have one directory that contains all of the images that I work with. So it's easier for backup purposes and all that kind of fun stuff. So the default Lightroom catalog that gets generated is, as far as I'm concerned, living in the wrong place. So we need to put it somewhere else. So let's do that right now. The first thing I want to do is I want to create a catalog that doesn't have a default name and isn't going into the default folder. So I'm going to go under File and I'm going to choose New Catalog. And I'm at the root level of my login. I come down here and I have a folder called Lightroom Catalogs. I created that. I want you to create one as well. And then in here, I'm going to create a catalog and I'm going to call it, I can call it Working Catalog. Once I click Create, then the software is going to create this catalog inside this folder that I've created and directed things to and all that fun stuff. So now it's going to close down and we're going to open up again. So now we're in our Working Catalog, and we're in the library module. So now the next thing that I want to do is just discuss the interface just for a minute. We have a whole bunch of stuff going on, and the software interface is divided into, I'm going to say, 3 main rows. Top row here, which has your name and the name of the software. We can change what's displayed up here. I can show that later. Then over on the right hand side we have the various modules: the library, develop, map, book, slideshow, print, and web. Go into each one of these in depth as the course progresses. The middle row is the main area that we're going to be working with, and that allows us to see our navigator or to be able to navigate through things. We have our catalogs, we have our folders, we have collections, and we have published services. Each one of these we will discuss in depth. Down below that we have our import, and then we have our main content area. This would be equivalent to Bridge when you're viewing your thumbnails, or Windows Explorer when you have a whole bunch of thumbnails and rows and columns and all that fun stuff. You'll see that shortly. Across the top, we're able to filter what we see down here based on text, an attribute, or metadata, and right now you can see the filters are turned off. This is so cool. We will deal with this as we move through our lessons. Down the bottom here, we have ways of displaying what's in the main content area here. Then over here we have our thumbnail preview kind of guy and all that fun stuff. Over on the right hand side we have our histogram, and then we have our quick develop settings, and then we have our keywording, we have keyword list, and we have metadata. All right, we'll discuss all of that in the future lessons. Down along the bottom here where you see this blank gray strip, that is our thumbnail film strip. You'll see how that works shortly.